My best friend.
Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Vivian. I'm the Tired Natural here on YouTube. First of all, I'd like to apologize because we no longer have electricity and I have to film because I chose this day to be a filming day. So episode 9, guys, Vera meets Mine for a play date, and Vera comes along with her daughter's play dates, and Mine also comes with her daughter, I think. I'm not really sure at the beginning. And so they are meeting for a play date, and Vera obviously is very intentional as a mom. We can see there how she's playing along with Asia. They obviously voices how they were not appreciative of the fact that they stayed there for more than 5 hours and nobody was there to meet them, and Vera obviously apologizes and she's obviously giggling about the situation. Also, Minnie goes ahead and advises Vera to ask for forgiveness from Sonal because she does not enjoy the conflict that they are at the moment having. We also see Sonal and Susan going for a gold tea date at Kipinski. So the two are besties, and it said that this activity is done by people who are friends or lovers. Basically, they're going to be eating 24-karat gold for each other, and they look so lovely, and they're having such a hearty conversation when they're taking their tea. And the person serving them obviously is tired in gold there. We can see them drinking. It's really hot because Sanal has loved Vera since the beginning. Like, she didn't have a problem with her when she met her, and she's definitely very hurt. And Susan reminds her of the situation of how they have met and how they have always had to go through other hard friendship breaks up, but they're always meeting somehow. Also, we see Lisa and Dr. C going golfing. The two are actually becoming such best friends, and Dr. C has never tried golfing before. Lisa obviously has tried golfing, and she's having such a good time, and she's being taught how to hold and to hit it. You know, fun moments, I can say. And she also goes ahead and shares her filler horror story with Lisa, and Lisa is like, oh, I could never do that. But she's also very compassionate to Dr. C's, and because her face at this point is actually really swollen. Mine invites the ladies to a children's home, and Lisa is not going to be attending, but the rest of the ladies are going to be going. So Mine's family actually have a children's home where they support, and it's somewhere in, I forgot the name of that exact place. And Vera obviously is not going to be attending such kind of events. We've already seen that she has a liking of certain types of events. Susan, so now Dr. C go to the place. Dr. C carries her daughter along. Susan also carries her daughter because they want to show their kids that they're actually privileged to be living the life that they're living. There are people, their age mates, who cannot afford what these girls have. I found this to be very nice because they're also going to be learning how to be giving. If you come from a family of givers, you definitely become a giver automatically. And at the children's home, they eat potatoes, beans, and rice. And Sonal says this is the meal that she had when she was growing up. She even wished that there was githeri because she could have eaten it. You can clearly see that Sonal is a very humble person, and she's very appreciative of her background, where she grew up, and she's not feeling shy about it. And so is Mine. Mine is also very appreciative of her upbringing. Susan teaches the ladies about pads, how to wear a pad, how to put it on the panty. And the boys are separated from the girls. The boys are talked to by Charles and his friend Tiki, and they talk to men about being men, obviously. And the ladies, wanafunza na Sonal, Susan, Dr. C. Sonal also goes ahead and shares that she used to cut lace off for her periods. You guys, that is such a horror story. Imagine your periods and then having to use lace. I felt so sorry for her, actually. People are really going through it out here. And she never had a pad until she was 21 years old. Mine also taught the ladies not to get pregnant early, and the whole process of getting pregnant and all of that. And I thought this to be very insightful because if you come from a disadvantaged background, you're most likely to do things that will lead you to getting pregnant in the search of a better life. And Mine definitely tells them that there's no shortcut to life. You'll actually have to go through it and persevere until your time comes. Susan then goes ahead and adopts 2 children, and she takes a photo with them. She's obviously very excited to be partnering with Mine, because Mine also, they have adopted children in that children's home. They obviously cannot say because it's going to come out as bragging. And then now we see Sonal meeting Susan for is it a worship or a prayer experience, and it's done at Sonal's house. And Sonal is definitely explaining to Susan how they do it in their religion, and Susan is actually doing it. She's ringing the bell, she's lighting incense, and they're having such a bestie moment. We've had a friend from a different religion, just a different culture altogether. They really do enjoy teaching you these things, and if you're someone who is open-minded, you'll actually learn because most of these things are kind of related. It's just that they do not use the same terms, and Susan is really enjoying it. When Susan was at Sonal's house, Dior, which is Sonal's emotional support dog, guys, just go Google about emotional support dogs. It gets a panic attack. This is when Susan realizes how close Dior and Sonal are. So emotional support dogs are given to patients of depression so that they can like have somebody, a companion, not to stay alone, and this dog can feel whatever it is that the person they have been assigned is feeling. And they ended up praying to Baba. Baba is, I think, like a religious figure in Sonal's religion, and I don't want to touch a lot on religion because obviously it's a hot topic. So the day of going to Nairobi National Parks is here. Nairobi has a park in the middle of the city, which is a very unique feature. Most countries do not have this. So Mine makes it her job to go and pick Vera from her house. She goes to Vera's house and she has this public address system and she's screaming Vera's name. She's saying that the lions need to see Vera's behind, and it's a very interesting experience. And when the car was turning for them to leave, because Vera did not come out of the house, Vera comes out. They obviously drive together with Mine to the park. The ladies are arriving at the park. They're really dressed nicely. Susan is jumping like a real Kalenjin. I don't know if she's Kalenjin or Maasai. I'm confusing between the two because different people keep saying she's different tribes. But she's really jumping. She's having such a good time. The ladies are dancing with the Maasais. And now at the national park, Vera actually apologizes to Sonal. And the apology is so deep that the two of them ended up hugging and crying. And they're really bawling, their eyes out. And there's this part where Dr. C is translating what is being said, and it's really funny because Dr. C does not know Swahili. This lady was not born here. We can confidently say that she's from actually a different country. She just came here to settle. She does not understand Swahili kabisa, and her translation is hilarious, you guys. Just go and watch. You'll understand what I'm saying. Lisa and Mine are obviously definitely shading each other as usual, even at the national park. In the evening, after visiting the national park, they have dinner and they're sitting at the table, and Mine asks them to do impersonations of each other. Sorry, Dr. C did an impression of Lisa. When Dr. C was doing an impersonation of Lisa, she started with the line, "Life is so amazing," because you guys know at this point, Lisa really loves to say life is so amazing. I'm actually getting into the spirit of life is so amazing too, because like once you confess it, you possess it. And immediately she says that everybody is dying of laughter. Soon we get to Susan's 40th birthday party. So Susan is turning 40, the ladies are going to Malindi, and Susan has booked them a private, let's call this a jet or plane. The ladies are supposed to make it to the plane early in the morning. The ladies are wearing white, they're beautiful. They all come in really hyped about the going to the course situation, and Vera arrives. Just that Vera cannot fit in the middle of those seats. The way those seats zimewekwa, Vera is to share because her bum is big, her stomach is also huge. She cannot really fit in between the seats, and the lady is actually quite worried. So somebody comes and helps her, and she's finally able to fit, and they are now flying to Malindi. During the flight, so much drinks are served. Susan actually says it was her intention that the ladies got drunk. And during still the flight, again, Dr. C gets quite tipsy and she wants to use the washroom. And guys, remember, this is actually quite a long distance. If you're pressed or if you're not comfortable, you're having an upset stomach, it's going to be very long for you. But C somehow holds it until they finally land in Malindi and get to Billionaires, where she can go to the washroom. So Billionaires is a resort in Malindi where I hear it's Naomi Campbell's. I don't know, she stays there when she comes. I really don't get the facts, but they get there, beautiful place. The ladies are shown their rooms. So obviously Dr. C, Lisa are sharing a room. At this point they're besties, and the rest of the ladies also are sharing rooms. So immediately they get in, they obviously get their drinks at the entrance and they go to their different rooms, obviously to, you know, rest a bit and get ready for the upcoming activities of the day. It's Susan's party, so Susan is the host. So if I make a mistake, kindly know I'm talking about Susan. And all the ladies go there except for Lisa. Obviously I told you guys, Lisa does not mess that much with liquor, and they're drinking the gin cocktails and they're having such a blast. And Mine's dress is a green mermaid dress. She looked so good. I had to comment, it was really pretty. Vera decides obviously to take a nap, she's tired. Other ladies were drinking. Lisa decides to go and get a massage. So guys, now we are in episode 10. Still, the ladies are in Malindi. Susan had organized for the ladies to go to Marafa. Marafa is a place in Malindi that is very pretty. It looks like the sunsets. The orange, the red. It's just a beautiful place. You can Google and see what Marafa is. The ladies get to Marafa and they're introduced that the place is also known as Hell's Kitchen because the degrees rise to 40 degrees and above. Dr. C and Lisa decide to take a walk so that they can take everything in as they walk to the place. The other ladies obviously refuse and they continue with the vehicle that was taking them there. Vera is definitely pressed because she's pregnant and the baby is sitting on her bladder and she needs to take a pee. So her and Sonal go to the bush and they take a pee there. Remember guys, they made up, so they're in very good spirits right now. Now at this particular point, Lisa is index 1, Dr. Catherine is index 2, so if I refer to them as such, kindly know this is based on their age. Lakini yenyewe Vera came wearing a very huge hat. And when they were still there, Lisa calls Mine Kijana and everybody is disagreeing. He's saying that Kijana is a male young man, and when she's corrected, she goes ahead and says Kijana res. I'm like, Lisa, by then you can chill on this Swahili thing. She must, by the way. Sorry you guys, I had to turn to my phone because my camera definitely went off. So basically, wakiwa uko Marafa, Susan had organized for Winebox to come and save them drinks, and one of the guys from Winebox actually can sing, so he goes ahead and sings such a beautiful melodious song for the ladies, and Mine is suspecting that Susan has something for this man, but actually that is the first time that nobody has beef with the other person. We see at this point that Sonal is receiving a call that something is going on wrong at home. When she picks the call, she hears that the driver has fallen from 2nd floor. And she keeps saying that every time she's having a good time, something always goes wrong. And this is one of those moments. However, she calls her baby daddy, who is able to go to the scene, and he calls her back and assures her that he's going to be taking care of things. So every other lady is actually having fun, but Sonal is obviously isolating, and Mine decides to go and hold her hand. No. Sometimes actually you're in a group setting, but you're the person who's going through the most and nobody else seems to realize. I mean, such is life. It's not always about you, and this was one of those moments, and Sonal didn't want to ruin it for Susan, obviously. And no guys were a bit tipsy, so it was quite difficult for people to notice that someone is off. And this was such a beautiful evening. And yeah, that was Marafa. And the ladies also get to watch the sunset at Marafa, which is such a beautiful scene. Some things you actually just have to see them because like even pictures cannot be able to do them justice. So they headed back obviously to Billionaires. So it's dinner time. Susan obviously had organized dinner for the ladies, and Dr. C and Lisa arrived first, and Lisa is very hungry. So they immediately start eating. They are not going to wait for the rest of the ladies. Sometimes it's urgency. You just have to eat. Mwenye anakuja tu akuje, atawajoin later. During the dinner, Vera comes with a bodyguard, and Dr. C does not understand why the bodyguard is there. So she definitely asks Vera, why is your bodyguard standing right behind you while you eat? And Vera says that she needs to feel protected, and Dr. C definitely goes and asks, oh, your mom needs to be protected, and Vera laughs it off and says, yeah, she feels that she needs to be with a bodyguard everywhere for her to feel safe. Sasa mi sijui who is going to attack Vera. That's why she needs to be carrying a bodyguard to a private resort. We can see Susan coming in, and she's wearing feathers again. She's really little buddy at this point, and Vera's headpiece is also very pretty during this specific dinner. At dinner, they discussed that if you're Jewish, only your mama can decide what tribe you are, because she's the only person who is able to really tell who your daddy is. And then again, Dr. C goes ahead and tells us to look for people with money, and that we should actually allow our sons to marry gold diggers, because then we will know that there's ability of the man to provide. She's really big on marrying rich. And Vera does not seem to agree. So I don't know between Vera and Brown who is the richer person. She really does not seem to agree, and she paints Dr. C in a certain image that you guys are going to be able to see later on. Dinner, they're having the pajama party. Not everyone is in attendance at the dinner, obviously. People are tired. At the pajama party, Dr. C is snoring. She had decided to take a nap before. You know, C has been drinking since the flight. And for her age, obviously, liquor is going to do her wrong. And she's snoring. But they wake her up and she joins the pajama party. And Vera does not come in lingerie. She comes with the dress she was wearing. This time around, Sonal and Mine come for the pajama party, and it's looking like it's going to be such a great night. Now, Susan had organized for I don't know who to MC, and she was boring the guys at the first time. That's why even Dr. C kept sleeping. So they asked if the lady could change the game, and when she changed the game, things got a little bit better, and there was still more liquor that was flowing. I really love Dr. C when she's drunk. She's so lit. And she is so lit, and she says whatever, and she doesn't care. She's so free. Now let's go to episode 11. So it's the next morning. People are so hungover. You know, the previous night people never really slept. They slept so late because of the pajama party. And Lisa goes knocking on everybody's door, waking them up at 6 a.m. to go and attend yoga. It said that the yoga instructor that they had gotten is one of a kind in this country, and she only deals with a certain group of people, so they did not want most people to miss. Lisa is definitely attending yoga. Susan is obviously going as well. Mine wakes up, she goes back and gets ready and joins the rest of the ladies. And we can see that they are doing yoga in such a beautiful location. I mean, it's coast. Coast is really beautiful, and things just seems much better at the coast, including food and activities. This lady then helps them do a hangover yoga, which really helps, and later on they're asked to go and change and go into the water and continue doing yoga in the water. And after the yoga, everybody confesses to be feeling better. Now episode 11 comes to an end at this particular juncture. Not a lot happens in that episode. You know, people are in good spirits. People are still having really nice relationships. There's no more wars at this point. So let me see you guys in episode 12, 13, and maybe the reunion if they're going to host any. Thank you so much, guys, for subscribing. And thank you so much for always tuning in.